Now a lot of people will ask me, why is this animal called a devil? Well, you could imagine the early encounter that the first European settlers had with this animal. It wasn't visual. It wasn't like we're having today. Imagine what it must have been like over 200 years ago to be a new white settler of Tasmania. Everything was different. The environment's different. Remember, look at the eucalypt forests that we have, or the ancient blackwoods and myrtles. And now you're seeing weird animals. Imagine seeing a mob of kangaroos for the first time. Imagine seeing a female kangaroo with a joey hanging out of her pouch, a two-headed animal. But the first recorded experience was at night time. It wasn't visual, it was vocal. They could hear that noise. And not just from a couple of old Tasmanian devils, but imagine hearing that noise from 10 devils or 20 devils. Imagine hearing that noise for hours. Imagine hearing that noise and then hearing bones crunching in the background. They were terrified by that sound. They'd heard nothing like it. With their torches and lanterns, they were shining into the bush, and they're trying to see what animal is making that sound. Now, the first thing that they saw was the reflective eye shine of the Tasmanian wild population. Remember, these devils were on their best table manners for you. You have no idea how much so. Imagine seeing devils that haven't fed for 2 weeks' time. They're starving, they're desperate for their food. Look at the fat tail base of our captive devils here. Our devils will actually store excess body weight in that tail base. So when these animals are fasting, when they're starving, they'll actually absorb that back into their body. So imagine seeing a group of devils that don't have that fat reserve in their body. They will bite each other across the face, on the back and on the tail. They'll drive each other away from the carcass. Now that's at the dinner table. Devils are just as competitive in the bedroom as well. There's not a lot of romance in the breeding world of the Tasmanian devil. There's a lot of biting. Or maybe it is quite romantic. I suppose it depends on what you're into. A female devil coming up into her breeding cycle will secrete a pheromone, and male devils can smell that k's and k's away. You drive a male devil crazy, and he comes in search of the female devil. The female devil will weigh 8 kilos. A male devil can weigh up to 11 kilos, 10 kilos on average, 10.5 kilos. You'll see the difference between our males. A little bit hard to see because this male is not in his prime anymore, but in a mature male in his prime, up to 40% of his weight is just in this top part of his body. His head, his neck, and his shoulder area. Whereas if you think about our bodies, our largest muscle mass is in the lower part of our body. So a female devil is in estrus. The male devil finds the female. He's bigger. The female devil instigates a fight with the male. The larger male has to overpower the female. By overpowering the female, it will basically start a breeding response. It says to the female, this is a big male, he's strong, he's got the right stuff. The female wants to breed with the biggest male that she can. That way her joeys have the best chance of competing with other Tasmanian devils. If the male devil can't overpower the female, well, then there's something wrong with him. You know, maybe he's too old, maybe he's too young, maybe he has an injury or an illness, or maybe he's just a dud, and the female doesn't want to breed with that male. She will breed with the strongest male that she can. Now the male devil grabs the female by the neck. He drags her down into the den, burrowing marsupial, like the wombat, backwards facing pouch, to prevent debris entering the pouch. The male drags the female down into the den. He'll mate with her. And then the behavior is amazing. Then you have to fight for survival. But wild devils are very timid animals. In fact, in the wild, you can almost at times go up to a wild devil and they will just freeze just like that. So working from a keeper's point of view with wild devils, it's usually very easy to do because that's all they do. They just go completely stiff like that. Whereas the captive devils that have no fear of humans, they're more interactive and around you sort of thing. So there's really only been two.